We're getting closer and closer to the next, I guess, edition of the first year of the in-season tournament. Quarterfinals will be kicking off in a few days here. So we're going to kind of talk about that, give our predictions of what we think is going to happen and where we stand on it going forward. We're also obviously going to do Ballin' and Fallin'. We are going to talk a little bit here, actually, pretty quickly about the Josh Giddey stuff. Because it's kind of all over social media right now, and he's being asked about it, and it's a formal investigation. So, not to bring the mood down, but we're going to talk about that.
That's the worst intro ever.
know,
We're
I
stuck.
know.
Not you, Justin. Let me clarify. I'm not talking about my pal Justin.
No, but it
here. I'm
is.
talking
It
about
is.
like it is. It's very because it's not even sad. Where it's like I can deal with sad. We've had plenty of sad NBA intro. I mean, I think of Kobe passing. I
Yeah.
think of that's probably number one. Honestly, I think it's pretty tough to beat that. Honestly, Isaiah Thomas's sister dying was really sad during the playoffs. I remember that as well. But no, so Josh Giddey is under investigation for an underage relationship. This apparently happened with, I guess she was 16 years old is what they're saying.
I
don't
think so.
know. And so this is where it all gets weird because the investigation is ongoing. So Josh Giddey has not been charged with anything by the police. Josh Giddey is still playing basketball games as of this point, which is a whole other conversation that we can get into in a second.
And the NBA said they are also investigating it. I know, the most recent thing that I saw as of today, this morning from TMZ was that the family of the accused relationship is now refusing to speak to the cops, which is an interesting, I guess, turn of events. Obviously, if you've been on social media, there are videos and photos that claim to be them. You know how the internet is these days. Like
it's all bad, Justin.
Yeah.
That's all I know is it's all bad. Like regardless of whether Giddey's been charged with anything or not, like the evidence right now, and I'm a big believer in innocent until proven guilty, but the evidence that is out and about Josh Giddey, like, and there is a chance where he doesn't break any laws. Like I don't know the way that I think I read that the age of consent in Oklahoma is 16. I'm not familiar with Oklahoma law, so I don't know that offhand. That doesn't change that all of this is still nasty, but that does change massively legally what could happen.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's really odd, though, that Giddey's playing while under investigation. Like, I think that's a bad look by the Thunder. Regardless of what happens here, I think you got to let that play out. Like, I don't think there's a scenario where he should be out in front of the press talking to anybody, where he should be playing in games right now. Like, it's just gross. It feels gross right now.
Well, and I guess, maybe they're going with the, he's innocent until proven guilty. So if he's innocent, then he can play ball, like he can do his thing. But it's tough,
not when you're
man.
charged with that, though. You know what I mean? Like, this is like, there are certain offenses that weigh more than others. And if we're talking about a sexual offense with a minor, that weighs pretty strong. Like, there's not really a defense there. So I don't know. I'm concerned. I'm going to let the investigation take its course.
Yeah, I got to see where it goes. They even said that they're, it's active, like we talked about, and they're working to conduct a, quote, fair and thorough process.
I mean, if he's charged, obviously, get him out of the league. Like, I think there's no question that this should be booted, like, instantly. Like, we don't need to waste any time there. But the investigation should play out. I think that would be drastic until we know what's going on. But it's not good. And it does feel odd. Again, Ja Morant didn't break any laws. And Josh should have got suspended. I'm not going to be one of those people who's going to be like, Josh should have got suspended. But it's like, it gives fodder to the fact that the NBA has no consistent standard on anything. I guess that's my point. It's
needs
like
to be consistent, yeah,
right. Like I don't know what it looks. It does look a little odd when Josh Giddey's out here hooping after getting an investigation for this. So I didn't even want to talk about it on the pod until it was getting confirmed, investigated by the NBA. Once the NBA officially opened the investigation, I felt comfortable talking about this on the podcast.
And you and I we've done this podcast long enough that when I saw it going on social media, I was like, I'm not even going to bring this up to Kevin about bringing it up on the pod until, or if there's an actual investigation, because not even from the photos, the videos that were going around on social media. It's just like, how many times I feel like it happens to me all the time, and you usually like shut me down, and you're like, just don't be an idiot. Is like some AI generated stuff, some, half these photos, not saying these ones specifically, but there's a lot of times where there's photos, there's tweets put out that I'm like, oh damn, can you believe this person said this? Or Steph.
I mean, you sent me it. I mean, you sent me it the other day where it was like that Seth Curry was trending because there was a video of some dude pouring up lean in a car, and everybody thought it was Seth Curry, and it's like, look at it doesn't even look like him. Like, what are we doing?
Right, but I was like, oh damn, man, like Seth Curry's really gone off the rails since his time with the Sixers.
It would be so incredibly out of character.
Yeah,
and I mean, look, you got to vet everything. Like, it's just the way it is. I mean, especially on, I'm still calling it Twitter, but especially on Twitter now, like that, every ounce of guardrail has gone out the window there. So
I realized that the other day I still type in Twitter to go to Twitter, and I was like, oh, am I
everybody does. It's twitter.com still. Like, no one is calling it X unless you're just like being unless you really want to make a point as an Elon fanboy at this point. Like those are the only people calling it X. No serious person is calling Twitter X.
Did I tell you, with the station that I work at, we're X99.5.
You are, yes, you are.
When a lot of radios will do stunts, like one of my favorite radio stations up where you are now, actually, Bex and Buster are on Q102, and for the Chiefs-Eagles game, they came out and made an announcement that they weren't going to play any Taylor Swift music like the week leading up to the game or anything.
Yeah, confirmed. And it's tough because she's a Birds fan, but like, what are you gonna do? You're dating Trav.
And dude, oh my God, the radio industry, the people in the radio industry were like so upset. And I was like, you guys just can't get out of your own way. But what we talked about doing when we made the X flip was suing, like making a legal document to sue Twitter for using X, because we are X. And it never really went anywhere because I also didn't want to like do all that work just to be like, what an idiot, and then it stopped, but we thought about it. We thought it'd be fun.
If I passed the bar, I would have got you a legal document.
That would have been awesome.
Only a 1-pager.
That's fair. I don't need much. Literally, I just we need like 4 headlines to take off. And then it's like, wow, look at this radio station suing Twitter. You know what I mean?
When I pass the bar, you have to give me $1 and then I can give you real legal advice. That's actually the rule. You have to give some transaction.
You have to
give me $1 and then I can actually give you, Justin Kuzart, legal advice.
That's fair. I like it.
And most of the time it'll be get an attorney in the field. But hey, I mean, look, listen, I may not be in your field, but
get your dollar. I like it.
Whatever, something like that.
Well, we're not going to be able to give legal advice with this, but we are going to be able to give our predictions on what we think is going to happen in the in-season tournament.
Yeah, I want to follow up real quick. My bad, not to cut you off, but on it's kind of a weird follow-up since we are talking about Giddey and the Oklahoma City Thunder to Ballin and Fallin last week on a much, well, it's not really lighter if you live in Detroit, but on a much lighter note, the Pistons were our Fallin last week. They have currently lost 17 in a row. The reason it ties into Oklahoma City is, believe it or not, the Pistons were 2-1 at one point this season, and both of their wins came against Oklahoma City, which is surprising because obviously OKC's playing some good basketball this year. Detroit has not won since. They did not win the entire month of November, which felt inevitable once the Wizards beat them. And not just beat them, like pretty handedly beat them. Wow. I mean, this is like, I don't want to pile on them, and that's why they're not going to be my Fallen this week. But you want to talk about a rock bottom. It is not good in Detroit right now.
Yeah, and it's like one of those things, like I would look up their schedule to see like, oh, when could be their next potential win, but like, is it even worth it at this point? Like,
well, and they're getting Bogdanovich back, so he'll actually be a trade piece. Like you would imagine contenders there are going to try to, pry him. It's not good. Osar Thompson's been good. That's about it. Like, I don't even know. You even have Faircade questions at this point. I don't want to pile on, but I do want a follow-up, if you will, a little bit lighter. Yeah. I don't have any beef with the Pistons. It's just unfortunate. It's really, really tough right now. Like, they are by far the worst team in the NBA. And that is saying something. But welcome, everybody, to the Driving Dish NBA podcast. My name is Kevin Rayfuse. Joining me, as always, my co-host, Justin Kuzart.
My quotes aren't loading quick enough. I was going to wait.
I was going to say, what's the AI bot doing this
Here
week?
we go. Optimism is the faith that leads to achievement.
Okay. All right, that's fine. I listen. It's Friday. I'll I feel like I need to light some incense or something when that's going on.
Yeah.
Sage the Room or whatever. Play the new Andre 3000 flute album.
What I did want to are you watched Squid Game, right?
It's sort of. So like I was studying for the LSAT, but Amber was watching it, so I know basically all the plot. And then, but like I don't know the ins and outs, but I know what happens, if that makes sense.
So and I promise this is getting back to basketball.
Okay.
The Squid Game, the challenge is now out.
Yeah.
You want to, so like Nicole and I are big Brother fans. Like we like watching that stuff, Survivor. Like we enjoy that, the challenge. Like we're big into that. The amount of anxiety that I get from the Squid Game, the challenge show is unlike any other game like this. Like I am stressed out for them and I have no anything in the game, right? I have nothing to do with the game, but I'm so stressed out for them. But to that, there is a former NBA player as one of the members. He's player 812. His name is TJ Stukes.
Oh, okay. That's fun.
And he, again, I don't want to give too much away.
I'd be pretty pissed if I was in a reality athletic competition and there was an NBA player there.
But here's the thing, man, is like, it's not athletic. And like, they're being like sued because apparently they put these people through like some really mental stuff. And like, but that's the whole point of Squid Game is that. So like, I kind of appreciate it a little bit.
Are we not finding also the irony of Squid Game being lost in that Squid Game was an entire like critique about money in society and the poor class, and now we have them competing for money? Like that's not the point.
Right, dude. I'm telling you, TJ does a great job. He does decently. I'm not going to give anything away. If he won, if he didn't, he does. It's really cool. Because the people's personalities and their true selves like show through. There are a few people who are villains in a way and do stuff that's just dirty. And I get it, man. It's $4.7 million. Like, who cares what people watching on Netflix think about you? You just got $4 million. That being said, again, I'm not in the situation. Some of the stuff that happened, I was like, I don't know if I actually could be that much of an a-hole. If that makes sense. Like, dude, you gotta like, they literally
morality say you're a good human being, Justin. You have morality. Some people don't have morality.
But here's the thing. But not even that. They put you in a situation where, like, even if you have morality, you still have to do something bad. Like, the one person in front of the whole group says, you have to pick 3 people right now to eliminate in front of everybody. Pick 3 people right now. You have 10 minutes. If you don't pick in 10 minutes, you're eliminated. And it's like, everyone's just standing there like, she's about to pick 3 people and those 3 are just done. They like nothing. They're just done.
I mean, look,
bro, I'm telling you, even if
I feel like is easier. I feel like I can do that if it's an elimination game.
No, but you've been in this like room with these people for like 3 days and you've gotten to know them and like you all know that
get the boot. What am I going to do?
Well, and that's the reason. At the end of the day, only one person can win the $4 million. So at some point, everybody's got to go. And I guess that's the headspace you got to get into. But dude, everybody's crying the whole time. Everybody's stressed out. And bro, it's I'm telling you.
Somebody's going to write the paper on how ridiculous this is and how this is the perfect definition of bread and circuses.
Yes. And anybody else, if you're listening and you watched it and you want to tweet about it, like hit me up. Like I'm all about talking about it because I am so invested. And dude, there's just some storylines in this game. Like, dude, they play Battleship with people. with people. Like, bro, awesome. It's intense, man. You're playing Battleship for $4 million. You're rolling a dice for $4 million. Like, oh, So sorry, that's my offside thing, but I did want to make TJ was going to be one of my balling and falling, but I was worried that it was going to give away too much on what happens in the show. So I just wanted to make sure to bring up that there is a NBA, a basketball tie to the Squid Game right now. I'm trying to figure out what team he played for, but it's going to take me a second.
Yeah, tweet Justin about that. Don't tweet me about it because I won't have real responses for you. I did just finish the second season of Succession. That was wild. I'm finally watching it. That's just neither here nor there, but just saying.
Oh, okay.
That or something.
I should correct. He played high school and then went to Pittsburgh State, and he played professional ball for the Harlem Wizards in 2009. So not NBA.
So not even close to the NBA.
They said NBA in the show. Maybe that's my fallen, is that they said he was an NBA player in the show. That's so funny.
They shout out the Harlem Wizards, but they're not even close to the NBA. You played in Pittsburgh State. Hey, leave us a review on iTunes, good or bad. We'll read them on the podcast. If you're not an Apple user, Google Play Store, Spreaker, Spotify, Amazon Music, TuneIn, y'all know the drill. Anywhere you can find a podcast, you can find us.
And we're on YouTube. Find the video versions. Obviously, we will be doing an Immaculate Grid at the end of the episode if you want to stay tuned for that and see if we can sneak Elfrid Payton in there. We'll see what happens. But, dude, I missed one the other day, and Matthew Dellavedova was an option, and I was so upset with myself.
Yeah, we had we matched for the most part. I think but we both got two wrong the other day. But you got one that I didn't, and vice versa.
I was so pissed off because Boogie worked in 3 options, and the one square that I tried to use Boogie, he didn't work. And I was
I did get Boogie's option, but that's neither here nor there.
But yes, follow us on YouTube, subscribe. That way you know when another episode's coming out.
And now a word from our sponsors.
So the quarterfinals of the NBA in-season tournament are coming up, and I just want to say, so as we go further in this tournament, obviously the games are going to be held in Vegas, and I wanted to start off with this. The NBA can't be having championships in Vegas at the beginning of December. There's too much family travel happening in the month.
Oh, boo this man. I'm trying to go to the desert in the winter.
Listen, that's fine. Move it to February so that I can go in February. I can't travel at the beginning of December. I just had Thanksgiving. I've got Christmas around the corner. I can't travel. I don't got time. I don't got PTO. I don't got PTO. I can't afford
a house for.
I'm just saying.
Come to the beach. It's warm in Florida. No, I feel you. I mean, it is in the in-between. That is always the downside to Thanksgiving and Christmas being so close, or even Hanukkah, obviously, if you're celebrating that.
Right, all the holidays, yeah.
Yeah, it is kind of unfortunate in a way that they are so close to each other. You're right, though, 100%.
Is it bad, Nicole and I, when talking about having Quinn, we talked about man, if we had a summer baby, it'd be better because all the holidays are at this time. So then it's halfway through the year we celebrate her birthday, and it's not near.
I think a lot of people do that, bro. I think you're far from alone there. It's kind of tough if you have your birthday. I always felt bad for people who had their birthdays around Christmas. And look, I know some people like it, but it feels like it gets lost in the shuffle. Sometimes it can't be planned that way, but no, I don't think that's a weird conversation at all.
All right, fair enough. So December 4th will be the first game of the quarterfinals, which will be Pacers-Boston. Pacers are coming in at the 2 seed, and Boston's coming in at the 3 seed. I mean,
and Boston got in on a point differential. They would have. That's how they broke the tiebreaker over Orlando.
Yep, which is crazy. Now I brought this up to you off the mic because the teams that are in the in-season tournament: Lakers, Suns, Kings, Pelicans, Bucks, Knicks, Pacers, Boston. A big conversation that I think, again, this person, Chase, is coming from a Orlando Magic side of things, so I get where he's upset with it. But
you can say Chase's full name. He's been on the podcast before.
I know.
He's a friend.
I know, but his upset was you have this tournament that's supposed to help get younger players experience in a tournament setting, and you look at the teams and Lakers specifically, Suns specifically, Bucks specifically, and maybe even Boston too, is you've got veteran guys who probably don't need that kind of experience. I don't necessarily agree. I think this should just be the best of the best talent going at it.
Oh, shout out to our guy Chase Bunker again.
Yep.
I completely disagree with him though, because I think like, why is it a presumption that it was supposed to be a young players tournament? Like, I think that's what the fear was. If people didn't take it seriously, that's where young teams would get that experience. But if teams take it seriously, I'm not going to get mad if that's how it just plays out, because guys actually tried. That meant the quality of basketball was good.
And it's a group of teams that some of them, I guess, you could have predicted to be in this, but like
no, the West is definitely different. Like the West is very much not who. I mean, if you look at the NBA standings right now, most of them are not in the West. The West right now, the one is the Lakers. They're playing the Suns at 4, and then the Kings are playing the Pelicans. Kings are 2, Pels are 3. I mean, right now,
Suns are the highest like record-wise team. At 5,
7, 8 right now. Like 1 through 4 are all out of it. In the East, it's a little more predictable with Milwaukee, with Boston, with the Knicks.
But you've got the Pacers, who are sitting as a 2 seed at 7. They're 9 and 8 this year. You know, like that's
but the Pacers have been a story to start out. And like, look, they beat the Sixers when they needed to. They beat the Cavs and the Hawks when they needed to, and took advantage of that group play.
Yeah.
I think Orlando, and we'll get into them in a little bit in Ballin' and Fallin', spoiler alert. I think they may, again, have probably the biggest gripe with just the point differential, but I mean, that's how Phoenix advanced to all point differentials. So, and I kind of like it with single elimination, that it's a little bit different. So again, to refresh the bracket in the West, you're going to have Lakers v Suns, and you're going to have Kings v Pelicans. In the East, you're going to have Bucks v Knicks, and you're going to have Pacers v Celtics. Yeah, I think the early indication, Justin, is that it feels like whoever is going to win the East is probably going to win this tournament. I think when you look on paper, I go that Boston is the best team in this in-season tournament left. Like, I think it's theirs to lose. Milwaukee, of course, will be right there as well. But I think, especially defensively, they still have more of an adjustment period than Boston has. So, yeah, I think the Celtics should be able to, I mean, as long as they're able to run with the Pacers, but the Pacers also aren't playing defense either. So, you know, I think they're certainly the favorite of everybody left. Phoenix maybe would be different if they have Beal, but they don't. I haven't seen enough out of the Lakers consistently enough to give them the benefit of the doubt. Like, honestly, I could see Sacramento being the team that comes out of the West. Like, Sacramento's probably playing the best overall right now.
Well, and one of my points that I was going to bring up was that I thought, you know, the Suns might not be, because of the injuries, that like if everybody's getting healthy going into this, it's like, oh, it could be a whole new thing. But now you got Devin Booker questionable again with the ankle injury. So it's like, who knows? I mean, that could be a whole nother level of like, what Suns team are you going to see at that point? You know, like it could be very wildly different team going up against the Lakers or going up down the line, depending on if they keep going. But yeah, man, I think I'm cool with it. I don't really, I guess the word is I don't really care who wins as long as it's entertaining, if that makes sense. Like,
no, I don't disagree.
I just want it to be entertaining so that everyone can enjoy it.
Yeah. I'm gonna pick some winners.
Okay.
So I'll take your temp. I don't think, maybe some of these will be controversial. I have Lakers over Suns, and I have Kings over Pelicans. And then I have Kings over Lakers going into the championship. I am going to take Sacramento coming out of the West. In the East, I got Bucks over Knicks. That's going to be close, though. Like, I could see the Knicks upsetting there. That really will be more of a coin flip than I think people are giving it credit for. I do think the Celtics will beat the Pacers. I think the Celtics will beat the Bucks. And then, as much as it pains me to say, I do think the Celtics are going to win the in-season tournament.
Okay. I'm essentially following you. I was trying to build a narrative around the Pelicans winning because Zion's playing so well.
I mean, they could. Math is there for them to get to the final. Like, this is single elimination. So it is truly, like, that's the entertaining part of it. Is it's very, I mean, you said before we started, it's very March Madness-esque. Like, a lot of, somebody gets going on a heater, you never know. Somebody's ice cold, vice versa.
I slightly hope that the championship in Vegas, December 9th at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on ABC.
Are they paying you? Wait a minute. Hang on. Did you get a check?
No, but I wish. I really hope it's Kings Pacers. I think that would be wild.
It would be electric. I would love it. I, as a basketball nerd, would love it. I don't know if anybody would watch it, but dude, I would watch like, every minute of it.
Because like I think for the general public to be excited is a Lakers Celtics rematch, an old rivalry.
Of course,
Lakers.
That's what the NBA is rooting for
LeBron,
sure.
Giannis. I want Kings Pacers. I want Pelicans Knicks. I want Kings Pacers. Those are the two outcomes that I want.
I don't think the NBA would be bummed if the Knicks were in it. Just
no, I don't think so either.
New York would go crazy if the Knicks won the NBA Cup. It wouldn't be like full burn the city down like if they won the finals, but like I could definitely see NYC turning it up if they win this NBA Cup. Like you kind of have to, right?
I feel like I've been labeled as a Knicks hater on this podcast, so I am going to plead the fifth and not.
Are you the Knicks hater now? Am I off the hook? I feel like I was back in the day. I think I'm off the hook.
I don't know. Listen, I'm just saying, like, it would give them something to celebrate finally, and that would be awesome.
Yeah, I truly hope the Knicks win a title in my lifetime. Not before the Sixers, but I hope they win in my lifetime. Absolutely.
Oh, dude, if they win it before the Sixers, no hate on no hate on the Knicks fans, but dude, if you guys win it before the Sixers do, I'm gonna.
We don't. Never mind. We don't need to go down that route. All right, who's balling? Who's falling? Our NBA version of the stock market. We always like start with the good before the bad. So balling for me this week is Orlando. Insert the 80s Orlando Magic theme song that they've been playing on Twitter all this year. No, Orlando winners of 8 in a row, 13-5, all the way up to number 2 in the Eastern Conference. Just as everybody foresaw, wins over the Wizards, the Hornets, the Celtics, the Nuggets, the Raptors, the Pacers, and the Bulls twice on the streak. But again, home wins versus the Celtics and Nuggets, like these are impressive wins. They're not just beating bad teams. Really, it's been the defense that's been impressive. The emergence of Jalen Suggs has been fun to watch. Cole Anthony's been electric off the bench as always. And they're just, again, their corner pieces have been corner pieces with Paulo Banchero and Franz Wagner. I was worried about how their bigs would hold up when Wendell Carter went down. Like he's been dealing with that hand injury, but between Goga, between Mo Wagner really holding it down, like give them credit. They look good. I think it's, I projected them to get into the playoffs this year, but they look like, forget the play in. The way this is going, you got to start looking at top 6.
Okay. I don't want to be a hater this whole episode.
So you're going to be a hater. Okay. All right. No, that's fine. I'll be the angel this episode. You can be the devil. I feel like it's flipped usually, so I like it.
Here's my concern. I feel like so many times right before Christmas, I'm like, damn, the Orlando Magic look awesome. And then we come out in the new year and they just have a few injuries and the wheels fall off. And I'm not saying that'll happen again. I believe that it won't because they are a younger team this time. But I've been burnt so many times by this where it's like, dang, the Orlando Magic, they're either, in the 4th seed, they're 5th seed, they're 6th seed before the play-in tournament was a thing. It's like, oh, they're having a decent year. Oh, they're finally clicking. It's finally going together. And then the wheels fall off. There's always a fast start from the Orlando Magic. And I know it's different now because it's a young cast. They're growing together. And I'm hoping that means it's different. But I am cautious.
God, you are a hater this episode. I'm so upset. They're playing so well right now. The defense
I know.
Has been electric. Like this team, I just and maybe because like back in the day, because I'm with you. Like the Magic, especially during the Hennigan era, obviously were just super mediocre at best, and that's being kind. But all those other older Magic teams like clearly had ceilings and had guys that were trying to win now. Like they're winning games off their young guys performing. Like that's only going to get better in theory. I don't know, because they've already had injuries. Like to me, when Wendell went down, that was their first test where I said, great, here's the punch that I don't know that they can handle. They don't have the bigs. That's where they're the thinnest. It's not like guard where they have 3 or 4 of them that are ready to go. And yet here they are still winning games. Like again, they have to beat good teams with meaningful minutes as the year goes on. Like I don't disagree with that, but it's like they just beat Boston and Denver on their home floor. Like you're not going to get better opponents than that. They've got their next one's against the Wizards tonight, so in theory you're going to roll there. You've got Brooklyn, you've got Cleveland, Detroit, Cleveland, and then Boston twice again. Like they've got a chance to keep stacking these wins. Like there's going to be some tough ones coming up, but I do think this is a much different Orlando team than we've seen in the past. I think there are reasons to buy in, and that we didn't even talk about Jonathan Isaac actually being healthy for once.
Right. And I agree with you. I want to, their net rating, they're a 6.2, they're top 5 in the league. Anybody wants to know, Boston, OKC, Philly, Timberwolves, Orlando Magic are the top 5 for net rating, which is like, if you told me that at the beginning of the season, I would have been like, wait, what? But so I want to believe you. And shout out to the Knicks, who are 6 on that list, by the way, because apparently I was hating on them earlier. I feel like I've seen this book before. I'm just a little nervous. Again, we're not even, what is it? We're not even 20 games into the season. I just want to.
Hey, you just started the podcast 2 weeks ago, telling me that you're ready to make sample size predictions, and now you're not ready to make sample size predictions.
I'm ready to make sample size predictions, but when it comes to the Orlando Magic, I feel like it's like once you hit that 30 game mark is when the wheels fall off. That's when things start going wild and a little haywire. So it's like, for this very niche specific reason, I am cautious because I have been burnt by this before in my Elfrid Payton years.
All right. Well, I'm telling you, step into the fire. I guess that's my advice. I'm in the flames at this point.
I hope you're right.
Join me. Let me know. It's pretty nice in here right now.
I very much hope you're right.
All right. Who's balling for you this week?
Oh yeah. Wait, we're doing balling and falling. I forgot we were on that. Balling for me. Actually, one of the teams we just mentioned in that net rating is going to be the Timberwolves. I think you mentioned them a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
But they are rolling right now, right?
They're one in the West.
And that's where my stat comes in from John Krasinski, who for the Athletic, he says in their previous 34 years of existence, surprising that it's only 34 years for the Timberwolves, but here we are. In their 34 years of existence, the Timberwolves have spent a grand total of 10 days as the outright number 1 seed in the Western Conference. 10 days total in 34 years. After they beat Utah earlier this week, the Wolves have been the outright number 1 for 10 days this season. So they have doubled it, which is just an absolute wild stat when you really digest the whole thing.
It is, because they've had periods of, I don't want to say being good, but they've had definitely period, like with Kevin Garnett, you would feel like they were close there a couple of times. But the way that you feel about Orlando and that you were hesitant to buy in, that's kind of how I was with Minnesota.
Yeah.
But I'm there. Like, they are good. They're a good team. Rudy's playing great defensively. Karl-Anthony Towns has been really reliable in crunch time. Like, that to me is the biggest difference. Is all of a sudden Towns, like, he's been one of the most efficient players in crunch time this season. And again, early sample size, but you're not worried about Ant. You knew what Ant was. You knew what they were defensively, but everything is clicking. The vision of what you thought this team would be when they traded for Gobert, if him and Cat can play late minutes together, I see the vision. I guess I'm there. I see the vision.
So not to continue the hater that I've been this episode, apparently.
They're your balling.
I know. I'm bringing it back to Orlando. I feel like you saying you believe in the Timberwolves is way easier than me saying I believe in Orlando, because the Timberwolves have like 3 proven stars where Orlando has them, but they're younger. So we haven't seen it for as long as we have with the Timberwolves, at least with these players.
No,
if that makes sense.
Yeah. Minnesota's played more meaningful basketball recently. They've been in the playoffs the last 2 years.
To add to the stat, by the way, the Timberwolves went 13-2, which is an 86% win percentage in November. That is the best record ever by a Minnesota-based MLB, NBA, or NHL team for a single month, and that is a minimum of 15 games.
Yeah, I mean, I think that every time, because Philly sports are always ridiculous.
Yeah, well,
because they always just get so close but lose.
Yeah,
but it also does remind me, because when I think of Minnesota, because Philly's got all Big Four sports, so does Minnesota. Minnesota has an NBA, an NHL, an MLB, and an NFL team. And they haven't won anything in 31 years. Like
Although
the last one they
yeah.
won was the Twins. The Twins won the World Series in 1991. They won another one in the 80s. The Timberwolves haven't won. The Wild haven't won since they've been back in Minnesota, and the Vikings have never won the Super Bowl. So it's like,
Damn.
for as bad as it is in Philly sometimes, I did see the Eagles win the Super Bowl in 2017, and I did see the Phillies win the World Series in 2008.
And I was going to say, I was like, oh, I wonder why they left NFL off this, but they couldn't get to 15-game minimum, right? Like that's just not going to happen in NFL. Yeah. So I get it. But yeah, man, those are some wild stats. So
believe it or not, fun fact, of the four, like of the major teams or cities with 4 or more with all 4 teams, New York is actually second. New York has 11 years since they've won a championship at this point. It was the Yankees were the last one in
well, and if you had told me to guess,
just kidding. Actually, just kidding. This list is all out of order. I lied. Detroit hasn't won since
okay,
the Red Wings in 08.
Okay, that's tough, man.
Yankees won in 09.
Yeah.
Detroit
well, and that would have been my guess. If you were like, what's the last team from New York to win it all? My like first guess probably would have been Yankees, honestly.
Yeah, they've had some close. I mean, the Rangers were in the Cup. Well, no, that's not even true. It's not the Yankees. The Giants won the Super Bowl in 2012. That's the last one.
Were the Yankees weren't after that? They were.
No, Yankees haven't won since 09.
Yeah. Okay.
Mets haven't won since 86. The Jets haven't won since Joe Namath.
Oof.
Knicks haven't won since the 70s. The Islanders haven't won since the 80s. The Rangers haven't won since 94, probably, with Messier.
I want it to be known you're the one reading these stats because I feel like I want to get called a hater on New York sports again.
I'm not. It's just odd. They have 8 teams. Like you would think, especially with the Yankees. The Yankees are the wild because the Yankees have always been successful. Like they're the one that's the like they have 27 championships, the most ever. Like some of these New York franchises don't have that history of success. Like you guys can bully my teams. The Flyers haven't won the Stanley Cup since 1975. The Sixers haven't won since 83. Like I feel you. You can't talk smack about my football team though. I'll tell you what, we're smoking everybody right now. Believe that.
Yeah.
Believe that.
Yeah.
Your Jags are playing well too, Justin. I'm not hating. Like
I so bad want to be in a weird predicament where it's Jags, Eagles, Super Bowl. Like that'd be fun.
Smoke the fuck out of them.
You don't know, man. You never know.
That O-line would be barbecue chicken.
That's fair, actually. Because what's his name just went down again too. Cam just went down.
That's a big one. Fallen for me is Gary Payton II, who is also unfortunately going down with an injury as he tore his calf. So this is indefinite. We have no idea how long he's going to be out for. But this is a Warriors team who is middle of the road right now. I mean, they're 9-10. It's been a struggle. Now you're losing a key rotation player, contributor, especially defensively. Like we know what he's meant for that team since coming back from Portland even last year. You have no idea if he's going to be back. I mean, we're talking months now at this point. The way the West again is shaping up, this is not a team, and with, to put it bluntly, Klay Thompson's rapid decline, like this is not a team who can exactly afford to keep taking guard hits right now.
Yeah.
I don't know where the replacement comes from. This is a really, really tough situation for the Warriors.
Yeah, last team in the league right now, at least with a positive net rating. They've got a 0.2 net rating. But again, like, I don't know. At the end, like last year, they were kind of middle of the pack, right? And still made a good run in the playoffs. So it's like, I know seeding matters, but as long as you're in the hunt with the Warriors, you're fine in my book. You know, like I'm going to trust Steph and them to do it. This could be the first year they show us we shouldn't, but until they do that, I'm going to trust them. Unlike what I said with the last 2 teams.
Yeah. I mean, the only positive that I think can come out of this is it's going to force Steve Kerr to play Moses Moody finally. Like, I do think Moody's been giving them some good minutes. He deserves kind of more of a look. But, I mean, yeah, you've got, like, Chris Paul's day-to-day. It's not a big deal. But you've got Chris Paul dealing with injuries right now. Draymond just got back from suspension. But it's like you're starting to try to get some consistency here a little bit, too. And now you're going to have Gary Payton out for at least a couple weeks. So it's pretty unfortunate. It's going to be a tough stretch for them coming up because they're going to start having to put some games together, and I don't know that they have the depth to. Like, They just don't feel as intimidating as they have in past years.
That's fair. I agree with that. My fallen is going to go out to LeBron James. So apparently he told his teammates on a flight to OKC that if Bronny makes his USC debut on the same day as a Lakers game, he's going to miss the Lakers game to attend Bronny's game. Which is, I mean, what if that game, okay, just for situation.
What if it cost them the playoffs?
No, what if they're in the play-in tournament and they need one more game to get out of it and LeBron misses and they lose? Or what if it's December 9th when they're in the championship for the in-season tournament in Vegas?
He's not missing the in-season tournament championship. Stop it.
I'm just saying, he told him he is.
It's not a big deal. The dude's being a dad. Stop it. I thought you'd be allied with the dads out of anybody.
I will go to my kids' thing anytime as long as it doesn't interfere with my stuff.
No, I mean, look, I understand that he's missing games. I'm not saying you're wrong, but that's the cost of doing business, right? He's just gonna go check that out sometimes. If Dwayne Wade was getting his jersey retired, there'd be a chance he'd be going down to Miami. If Chris Paul had retired, there'd be a chance he'd be doing that. I don't know. It's not a big deal. If it falls during a game, it is what it is, right?
I'm just calling it now.
This is the cost of doing business.
I'm just calling it right now. You know it's going to be a big deal when it happens. It is going to be a whole thing from probably Lakers fans.
Well, Lakers fans have bigger concerns right now. They got to figure out what's going on in the rotation.
Well, that's fair too.
All right. Should we jump into some Immaculate Grid?
We can do some Immaculate Grid. We'll wrap it up here with some Immaculate Grid if I can find my share screen, and we're doing it. Great. This is compelling.
Oh, no, that's fine.
There it is. I found it. I found it.
Oh, I was all ready to start talking. Finally.
I was like, I can't find the damn thing. Here it is. Okay. Here we go.
We got some boo. I'm already booing the first column because we already know one of it right off the rip.
Let's go, baby.
All right. So again, watch Immaculate Grids on YouTube always. Just search Driving Dish NBA podcast. For the audio listeners, across the top, the 3 columns from left to right, we've got the Clippers, the Thunder, and 20 points a game per season. From top to bottom, we got the Sixers, we got the Lakers, we got the Nets. I genuinely don't like when we have the Sixers because I think it makes it very easy for us.
Although I think we'll have fun with the 20 points per game.
The 20 points a game, we will. The one with the Clippers, they just made the deal this season. We got so many options.
Well, yeah. We could probably also go Tobias Harris.
No, so right off the rip, just from the trade alone, you could do Covington, you could do Marcus Morris, you could do KJ Martin, you could do James Harden, you could do Tobias Harris, you could do
anybody else come over? Did anybody else come over with the Harris trade?
Probably, but I don't remember off the top.
Yeah, that's the person I want to put.
No, I know. You could do Lou Williams, you could do Elton Brand.
I bet Lou would be low.
I think Lou and Elton are the lowest right now just because it's been a while.
You want to go Lou?
I kind of want to go Elton, dude.
Elton?
I think Elton will be lower. Yeah, because he started with the Clippers. Lou is popular. People like Lou.
Lou is popular.
And Lou's most famous basketball was
Patrick Beverley
with the Clippers. Patrick Beverley would work.
He won't be less than Elton, though.
No, just because I think P-Bev's on the team right now.
And Bev might work with other ones. Actually, Bev will work with other ones, I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah, Bev will work with Lakers and Clippers. It's right below it.
Yeah. So we'll yeah. So, all right, you want to go Elton?
Yeah, I'm cool going Elton Brand.
Going Elton 9%. Okay.
Wow, more than I expected. I really thought that would be lower than 9. But nevertheless, we moved.
Oh, did Nerlens Noel, did he play for OKC?
Maybe that sounds right, but
I feel like it does too.
The one that I know with no hesitation is Isaiah Joe because I'm still annoyed
He
about
just
that.
yeah.
That is these. I think you know what. I think you're right about though with Nerlens. I'm pretty sure he had a year or two there.
I thought so too. It was right, like because I remember thinking OKC had him and that he would do well as long as his knees and leg injuries didn't flare up.
Yeah, because it was Dallas is where he got traded, but yeah, I think he was in OKC after Dallas. That would be a good one. I'm trying to think of any. Mike Muscala would work.
Oh yeah.
I think
Wait. Al Horford?
Al Horford does work. Yep.
Do you think that would be a popular one though? Because it's more recent.
Oh man.
Because I think Al Horford, I think Celtics, right? Like I don't think either of those.
Oh yeah,
teams.
or Hawks, Celtics and Hawks, the first two.
But you're not thinking OKC or 76ers.
No, because he was kind of in exile in OKC until he got traded back to Boston, and I think everybody in Philly wants to forget that year.
Yeah.
I don't know though. I'm with you. I think Isaiah Joe will be the highest.
Yeah.
And then I think so. We got Horford, Muscala, and Nerlens. I don't know which of those will be lowest. I don't think it'll be Horford. I think people are going to remember. Like Al's just more famous than the other.
Nerlens Noel is like
I don't think people will associate Nerlens with OKC, so that's kind of why I want to go Nerlens.
You want to go Nerlens?
Yeah, people know Mike Muscala.
Yeah,
especially now with him getting the maxi bump. Yeah, I'm fine going Nerlens. I'm comfortable he was there.
6%.
Okay,
surprisingly more than I thought.
Let me check this now. I'm curious to see what years he was there. Okay, yeah, 2 years after Dallas, 2018 through 2020, Nerlens was in OKC.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. So
okay,
I mean, 20 points a game for a season for the Sixers is a zillion. I mean, you could go Embiid, you could go Iverson, who will be the most obvious ones. You could go Maxey, you could go Harden, you could go
Jahlil Okafor. Was he 20?
Oh God, I don't know.
He might be close though. He might be close.
God, he might be close. That's so gross.
I
mean, old school guys. Julius Erving is the obvious one. If Ja didn't do it his rookie year, it never happened.
Did Iggy do it? Did Turner do it?
I don't think Turner did. I think Jrue Holiday probably
did. Michael Carter Williams?
No, I don't think Jrue did. Not with us.
Michael Carter Williams? Probably not. I don't think he got there.
Not enough to bet on it. He might have his rookie year.
I don't think so. I bet his rookie year was like 15 a game.
No, he's a point guard. Yeah, that's kind of why I'm hesitant on anyone. I mean, the only guard, I mean, even Lou Williams is coming off the bench, so I don't think he was getting it with us.
Did we think Iggy did? Did we say if we thought Iggy did?
I mean, he's close, but like, I don't think he did it in Philly. He didn't. Man, he was. I think he was close, but not enough to bet confidently on it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to think of like extra, like Hal Greer is probably like my when you just go in the super boomer bag. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was on the Sixers. Like I'm pretty sure he's the Sixers' all-time leading scorer, and he definitely, no question, put 20 a game up. So I kind of just want to go in the super old category.
You want to go Hal?
Yeah.
Hal Greer? Is it going to let me pick it? There we go. Okay. Oh, yeah, 1%.
Yeah, nice. 1%. Yeah. I mean, we're going back in the day. Like Hal Greer is, people don't definitely remember that. Okay. Iguodala did not get 20. I'm looking now. No, he's close. He had 19 the 1 year. Yeah, you basically nailed Michael Carter Williams too. Michael Carter Williams was around 16.
16 his first year. Okay.
Jahlil Okafor. It's got to be his rookie year. Yeah, his rookie year he was around 17, but he never got to 20.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, I was thinking because he's the only option. You know who would have like Isaiah Cannon worked?
No way, dude.
No way.
Wasn't
he dropping like crazy points with us though?
Not for 20 points for a season. He wasn't.
Are you sure? What was the highest he had?
Oh God. I don't know. Let me look it up. I think I have a crazy answer for Brooklyn though.
Okay.
Van Horn.
For
Brooklyn.
For
just Isaiah Cannon averaged 12 points a game with us, 12, which is actually more than I expected.
12 is more than I would have.
That was a 22 game sample size in 2015. In 2016, he averaged 11 in a 77 game sample size, so a little more there.
Okay. Well, we tried. We got close.
For the Nets, though, you could do Irving, Keith Van Horn. I'm thinking from like that 2000s team. I don't know if Kidd ever averaged 20. My guess is, excuse me. Oh my God, is not.
Paul Pierce would be a weird one.
Oh, interesting. He had to do it on that team though, right?
When paired with a team, Twitty must be achieved with that team. Okay, yeah.
So that's my thing. Is like Pearson Garnett would be late. They definitely like would. I mean, same with like Joe Johnson worries me there. I mean, the obvious ones are Durant and Irving. I mean, Harden even is an easy one. Did Darren Williams average 20 with the Nets? I feel like he may have been close.
Dude, Darren Williams was my guy in NBA 2K. Holy moly.
He was really good. I mean, he was arguably the best point guard in the league one year when he was with Utah.
He had to have done 20, right?
I think so too. The question is he rarer than like a Keith Van Horn?
I think both are probably about the same. So if you're more confident on Van Horn having it, then let's just go with that. You know, like if we're even remotely
I mean, Richard Jefferson is the other one with with Brooklyn, like, but I feel like people know who RJ is. I want to go Van Horn over RJ. I wouldn't go Van Horn over.
Was it a space?
Yeah.
Okay.
Vince Carter would work. But yeah, let's go Keith Van Horn. I think
you want to go Keith.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, 1%. Good call.
Sick. All right. I want to see.
Dennis RJ
did have over 20 in Brooklyn.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Twice, actually.
What did Pierce have with Brooklyn? Like,
all right, hang on. Let's do these one at a time because I want to see Keith Van Horn too. Oh, wow. I almost blew it. Keith Van Horn only had 20 in Jersey one time. 98, 99, he averaged 21. He had 19.7 and 19.2 twice. Wow, I almost really blew that bad.
Okay.
Darren Williams did. He actually only did it once.
Okay, but he would have worked. Okay.
But D-Will would have worked. Who was the other one you asked?
Paul Pierce. Did he ever get 20 with the Nets?
Did he do it with 20 with the Nets? No, he did not. He was all the way down. No, his one season with Brooklyn, he was 13 and a half.
Oof. Okay. Dennis Schroeder will work here. Lakers, OKC.
He will.
Want to see if there's a better option because I feel like that's pretty recent.
I think Mozgov works there.
Oh my God, Mozgov.
I'm pretty sure Mozgov played in OKC.
Steven Adams wouldn't work there.
Actually, did Mozgov play at OKC? I know he played in Denver.
I don't know about OKC.
No, Steven Adams wouldn't. None of their core guys now would. Was Josh Hart on OKC for a little bit? I don't think so, right?
No, I'd almost feel like Josh Hart was on the Nets more than OKC.
No, he's definitely on. He's on the Knicks now. No, he's on the Pelicans. That's who. He's on the Pelicans. No, I'm fine with going. Actually, does our boy Mike Muscala work there? I think he was a Laker, wasn't he?
That I don't know.
I'm pretty sure he was. I'm actually pretty like.
Was he? Oh yeah, because we were gonna do the OKC trade. Yeah.
Yeah, let's do Mike Muscala, man. I think that works there. I'm pretty. I don't know if he was on the bubble team that won, but he was there pretty close after. I think
Muscala.
Yeah, let's do it.
2%.
Yeah, 2%. Holy moly. All right. So let's reset real quick for the podcast listeners. Across the board, so Sixers and Clippers, we got Elton Brand for Sixers, and Oklahoma City Thunder, we got Nerlens Noel, and for Sixers 20 a game a season, we got Hal Greer. For Lakers and Thunder, we got Mike Muscala. For Nets 20 game a season, we got Keith Van Horn. We still need Lakers 20 game a season. We still need Lakers Clippers. We still need Clippers Nets, and we still need Thunder Nets.
Well, okay. I mean, obviously Harden works for Nets Clippers.
He does.
I feel like that's kind of an obvious one, though. Nets OKC.
I think Royce O'Neal might work there.
Okay.
He definitely played for the Nets. I'm trying to think if he played with the Jazz too. I'm trying to remember if he had a year other than with the Jazz, but I'll get back to that one. I mean, Lakers and Clippers, Lakers 20th season, we both know. Like, those are rock solid. I'm not worried about them.
Yeah, we'll be fine with that.
And I mean, Nets and Clippers, if we have to do Harden, we have to do Harden. That's not the end of the world. Like, I would rather not, but
oh, wait. Nets OKC, we have all those guys too. Durant, Harden.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, that's yeah, you're right.
So like worst case, we just bail, but
know who you could do for I don't know how popular it'll be, but know who you could do for Clippers Nets? You could do Blake Griffin.
Clippers Nets would be Blake Griffin. That's good. Well, DeAndre Jordan might work there too, actually.
DeAndre Jordan does work there. Yep.
Okay. Hear me out about OKC.
Okay.
I feel like this guy was a staple conversation for us back in the day for OKC because he played such good defense.
Andre Robertson.
Yes. I think he got traded to Brooklyn. Oh, I think he did.
I love when you have realizations like this. So that's the thing is I truly don't know.
I think he did, but I don't want to guess it and that be like our miss. You know what I mean?
No, guess it. Because it's going to be 1% if it's right. So guess
dude.
It. And I know it's with OKC. This is kind of crazy, but like I trust your weird judgments.
Roberson?
Like yeah.
No, wow, 2% actually is kind of aggressive.
I do not remember that. So good for you for checking in with our boy. Wow, that's great. He played in 5 games for Brooklyn, Justin. Wow, good for you. He got
what year?
Yeah, 1 year. 2020, 2021.
Okay. Wow.
That's it. He only played in OKC other than that. So wow.
Jeez.
Wow. Good for you for remembering that. I would not have got that.
I was also thinking KJ McDaniels might work for Clippers Nets, but I really am not confident.
I'm not nearly confident enough in that.
Especially when we know we have options. So.
I lost track of him after Houston, I think.
Yeah, you went to Houston. I want to look it up, but I'll wait till we're done.
For 20 a game per season for the Lakers, Kobe, Shaq,
Paul Gasol,
Dwight. Did Powell?
I don't know.
Bron, Anthony Davis. Powell probably had.
He had to have been close, right?
He was definitely close, but I don't know if he. Oh man,
you said Shaq, right? We got Shaq.
Yeah, Shaq's an easy one. Wilt Chamberlain, Kareem,
Magic.
I would think Magic did.
I would imagine so too.
I feel like he has to because he was asked to put on so much more of the scoring load at one point. I mean, James Worthy probably did too. I mean, back in the day, Elgin Baylor, Jerry West. There's a lot of options. Like it's just which Laker great do we think people don't think the most about?
Somebody that was a great. Oh, Anthony Davis. Did we say Davis?
Yeah, we said.
Oh, okay. I was just saying somebody that was like a star for another team and then ended their career with the Lakers would be somebody that I bet they don't think about.
I mean, I guess that's Wilt, but
yeah, but I feel like Wilt's big enough that people know.
So do I, and so that's where I'm tough. I almost want to like. I mean, people think Jerry West over Elgin Baylor.
Elgin Baylor might be the move.
I'm fine with that. We can have a boomer column almost plus Keith Van Horn.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, I think Elgin. I think Elgin will be lower than Kobe, Shaq, LeBron.
I kind of agree. I think so too.
Worthy, Magic.
Is there any like random point guard that we're not thinking of that would have
probably dropped? So that's my thing is like I think a lot of the fringe players on the Lakers, but like I don't feel confident enough to bet them.
Where did Swaggy P play? Would he count as a Lakers Clippers or
no? He definitely counts Lakers Clippers. Yeah, absolutely.
I bet he's low.
Yeah, because I don't think people associate him with the Clippers a ton. I think they do with the Lakers, but I'm with you. I agree.
All right, so we'll go Elgin Baylor here.
Okay.
5%. You want to go Swaggy?
Yeah, let's do Swaggy there. I'm cool with that.
Even is his real name Swaggy?
No, Nick Young.
Nick Young, that's it.
Nick Young.
I was like, I can't even think of his damn name. All right, Nick Young.
Wow, 0.5. Wow. I had thought it'd be higher than that, honestly.
Was he the one? He got traded because the whole Iggy thing in the locker room, right? Was that why he got traded?
Well, yeah, with him and
because I kind of killed
that was with the Lakers. Yeah.
And just D'Angelo.
He was on the Clippers before he came to the Sixers. He was with the Sixers for a little
bit too. Okay.
He was on the Clippers before that.
Yeah, I knew he was on the Sixers, and then I knew Lakers. I just didn't know before.
All right, so we're gonna get 9, which I'm excited about. Harden is to me the most obvious. Blake Griffin, I think, will be high because he's a star. Trying to think if there's anybody else like recent. I'm trying to think of like I don't remember if Ba Mute played in Brooklyn. I know he played with the Clippers, but I don't think he played in Brooklyn.
Isn't like Jeff Green, all the main guys work still. What about, isn't he on the, was he a Sixer too? Landry Shamet?
Yeah, so I was thinking about that.
Because he was a Laker, and now he's on the Nets, right? Or do I have it backwards?
Yeah, no, Landry Shamet was definitely on the Nets at one point.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he's on the. Yeah, oh man, Shamet works, DeAndre works, Griffin works, Harden works. Who was the one you said before Landry Shamet? Not Ba Mute. The who did we just talk about? You mentioned Jeff Green. I think Jeff Green works too.
Jeff Green probably works because he's been on every team.
I don't want to go with Jeff Green just because I think Jeff Green is like not a cop-out answer, but it's just like we get him all the time. I like Shamet, dude. I think we get
Shamet. Griffin would work.
Shamet was on the Shamet was in the Tobias trade, I think. Like that circles us back to that. And I know he played for Brooklyn too, because he was on the KD team.
Yeah. Yeah. Shamet. I'm trying to think if there's any other ones.
They'll be the lowest. I mean, Blake Griffin is a star. Harden's a star. I think DeAndre Jordan was a memorable enough role player with the Clippers, and he was on the Nets recently enough that people would know that. I think Jeff Green is just a bailout answer that people would get off that.
I agree.
Let's do Shamet, bro.
Wait. Okay, Shamet. I like Shamet. What about our college guy, Jordan Farmar?
Oh my God.
I think he did, right?
Jordan Farmar. Oh my God.
I think he did.
Thought about Jordan Farmar in so long.
But he was on the Nets, right? And I think he was on the Clippers. I think he
This is the ultimate trusting your gut. But if you're right here, you know what? Go for it, dude. I truly don't know where I haven't thought about Jordan Farmar more than like twice on this podcast.
The reason I thought of him is because I don't know if it's the same year, if I'm blurring it, but the years that he was on, that I played NBA 2K with Williams, Jordan Farmar was my backup whenever Williams went on the bench. I think that's why I know he was on the Nets. I might have the years off. It was like 2K.
Do it. Everything else is too easy, and we know we're right, and so I feel good about it. If you get Jordan Farmar, this is going to be like your most unbelievable guess you've ever pulled out so far.
Yeah, but this would line up 2000 because 2015 is the 2K I think that I'm thinking of.
Do it, bro. Just do it. You're a psycho. You're a psychopath. You're an absolute psychopath. Are you kidding?
28%.
Yo.
Or rarity score, I guess I should say.
No, you really got... Oh, my God, dude. Hang on. I got to look at this now.
I want to say he was there in 2015.
Jordan Farmar was on the Clippers in 2015 for 36 games. He was on the roster, and he played 2 seasons with the Nets. I'll be damned, Justin. Blake Griffin was the most popular Clippers Nets. Wow, that does surprise me. Though I guess Harden with the Sixers and Clippers makes sense too.
It's like mostly OKC people. James Harden.
Yeah, so it's Harden for Clippers and Sixers, Harden for Clippers and Thunder, Embiid for 20 points a game, LeBron for 20 points for the Lakers, Kyrie for the Nets, KD for Nets and Brooklyn, Russ for Lakers and OKC, Russ for Lakers and Clippers, Blake Griffin for Nets and Clippers. Before we get us out of here one more time, let me review our answers. We got in one of our best performances yet, Hal Greer, Elgin Baylor, and Keith Van Horn for the 20 points a game per season. Hal Greer for the Sixers, Elgin for the Lakers, Keith Van Horn for the Nets, Andre Roberson for Nets and Thunder, Mike Muscala for Lakers and Thunder, Nerlens Noel for Sixers, Thunder, Elton Brand for Sixers, Clippers, Nick Young for Lakers and Clippers, and Jordan Farmar for unbelievable 0.01% for Nets and Clippers. easily Justin's greatest performance.
Wow.
I'm going to wrap this up because I think, Justin, I don't know if you're looking at the clock right now, but you got something to do in 3 minutes.
I had to go give away a
everybody to listen to this episode of the Driving Dish NBA podcast. We appreciate you guys as always. Leave us a review on iTunes, good or bad. We'll read them on the show. We're everywhere else you can get a podcast, and you can watch the podcast on YouTube at Driving Dish NBA podcast. Did I miss anything?
Nope, that's it. Just subscribe so you know when the next episodes are coming out.